I like that background.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter. Our guest today is Olu Auguste, and this is Smart Business Moves.
Woohoo! Hey, Olu, so glad you could come and be here with us today.
Yeah, we were a couple minutes late. Sorry about that. I was trying to get everybody like moving in the right direction, but sometimes
we're all slackers except for Tom.
Yeah. I know. I don't know what is wrong with us. Tomcat though, he is on it.
Always.
That's right. I'm not answering to anything other than Tomcat today.
Now on. Somebody's going to call you Tom Dog. Somebody.
Tom Dog.
Tom Dog doesn't even make sense. It's Tomcat all the way.
All the way. I agree. Tomcat it is. Oh, I just realized I cannot see. There we go. Hey, Don. I'm like, where are all my comments?
I can't see comments.
Hey, Tomcat.
Hey, Don. How are you?
So just a reminder also, Tomcat, that you have to have your headdress next Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. We're getting up on Christmas, aren't we?
We are. And Christmas is on Wednesday this year. So next week is our last Smart Business Moves before Christmas.
Wow. So I'll have to bring the full array out.
That's right. You got to get the hat, the pants.
I mean, it's done all December, if you ask me.
Oh, really. You see, I've got my earrings and I've got my fa la 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 llama.
I got nothing.
I got decorations too. I got snowmen and stuff.
Yeah. Nothing.
I'm on it. I'm on it back here. I just don't have my headpiece on. I should. So I'm so excited. Oh, Don is peachy. That's cute. I like that, Don. Oh, peachy. So Olu, you are here today talking about $1 million moves, and I love this topic for multiple reasons. One of the reasons that I talk about a lot is that our industry gets so just has this small mindset of just trying to grow 1,000 here, 1,000 here. A big growth streak is wow, $200,000 in a year.
Sure.
And so I love this idea of making $1 million moves, doing, thinking bigger and doing more and just bigger moves. So I'm super happy that you're gonna talk about this with us today.
Yes, absolutely. And I agree with you with the mindset thing. First of all, you got to choose why you're doing it, right? Because if you just put some arbitrary number and this is what I want because everybody's doing it, you're never going to go for it. But like Tom has spoken about in length, it almost doesn't make sense to stay small, especially with private equity, eyeing our industry. Being one of the bigger guys is definitely a better place to be, a little bit more comfortable to be in. Not only that, but with growth in your company, you're able to provide way more opportunities. Wonder when do you decline me? What's going on?
Is that an inside joke? I'm not.
She probably called me, but you should know this by now. My phone never rings. You will never hear that thing ring. So
okay.
Silent. The only problem with that is when your phone, you can't find it. You also can't call it.
Your watch, you page it.
Yeah.
Apple Watch, page it. Boom.
New watch. I need a new watch.
Well, you got the new iPhone. You just need to get the watch to go with it.
That's exactly right, Tom. I have the old watch that doesn't sync up right.
Christmas is right around the corner.
It's on my list. It was top thing on my list this year. It was.
Let me ask you, for everyone that's on the live right now, and I don't know how many people because I can't see the Facebook side, or just drop in what your goal is for this year, what you're looking to
2025 or 2024?
Yeah, 2025, not 2024. What's your goal in 2025? I want to see where we're at, who we're talking to, and what's everybody, tracking and doing, especially it being the 10th of December. If you haven't written down your goals, I need you to get off this and go do that right now. Start looking at your goals and how you're going to hit that. Let's go.
Dang.
800K. Love it.
Dang.
Love it.
I'm right there. I like it too. Already there. All right. What else? Dawn, what you got on there? I know you were just at the annual planning. Dawn's feeling a little overwhelmed. She's got a lot of stuff going on. And that can happen a lot.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the year, people can start feeling like, whew.
Yeah, it's kind of closing in on you. Closing in. No,
here we are. We only have 2 weeks left and we got holidays in there. And all right, let's see. Dawn. Let's get hers.
Come up with.
Oh, she's talking about ideas for projects.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Don's really smart. I love that you're outsourcing now, though. Who, not how.
Yeah. We gave her a little bit of a smackdown at Foundations. Was it last year, Tom? Year before?
It was last year.
Probably
And
every year.
yeah, but Dawn took it to heart, like more than any person I've ever met before. We have told people, listen, you got to stop doing this. And they're like, I know, I do. You're right. And then, we talked to them in 3 months and they're doing the exact same thing.
But every once in a while, somebody listens, and Don
yeah,
did the hard work.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, Tammy, he's going to hit you up. He's going to want to know why.
Let's go. Right now. Exactly. Why?
Is
it because everybody wants it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the biggest reason outside of, the private equity, in my opinion, and, I don't know if it's the right opinion, but if you don't grow, you can't provide opportunities for your people. And then they see it as a dead-end job and not a career, right? So if you want to motivate your people to work along with you to hit your goals, you have to give them a path where they can see themselves growing within your company. So saying, hey, we want to be at $500,000 and be comfortable there. I remember at $500,000, I had a very comfortable company. It didn't take a lot of, people to handle it. It was 1.5 people, small team, and you can manage that. It's very manageable. But what happens is you start getting team members who are there for a year, 2 years, 3 years. They're realizing they're not going anywhere in this $500,000 company. They have nowhere to grow. It's a dead-end job. Not only that, if we're in the cleaning space, it's viewed as a lower status job
already.
Society. So now, hey, your family is saying, hey, you've been at this cleaning company for 3 years. Great, you got some raises, but what's next? Did you get any promotions? And that's kind of one of the issues that I started running into with not providing a clear path for my team members, a ladder. Hey, here's how we can go from regular entry-level cleaning tech to coming into the field as a field manager and kind of developing so that you can go into other places, right? So one of the things I reach out to you, Liz, about is about my employee development, because we actually just gave out a whole employee maturity model to our team and started talking about that. Here's where you start, here's how you get there, and here's the skill sets you have to learn in order to get there. And what does that have to do with scaling? It has everything to do with scaling, because if you don't have that path, you're going to be chasing new people all the time. And you can't grow doing that. I'm talking about literally, I'm just coming out of this a few months ago, realizing that I needed to change the way I approached growing my company, because getting to where we are now, we're at 1.85 run rate. Getting to where we're at now, we marketed, we sold, we marketed, we sold, but now we're having some breakdown where we're losing 3-year people, 4-year people. And the question is why? Because they're still cleaning, right? So you can do all the great marketing, you can do all the great sales, but if you don't have an employee maturity model that shows your people where they can go and how they can grow along with your company, you got nothing. So I think that's the biggest reason to grow, because there's more opportunities for everybody in the company.
Well, one really good thing about that too, that there are a lot of people in this industry that when you ask them why they're in this business, they're like, because they want to impact their employees' lives, right? And we hear that all the time. Absolutely. You can't do that if you don't have any money. Yeah, exactly. Right? You can't grow your people. You can't give them additional opportunities. You have to have money to be able to do that. So for those of you that are out there thinking, yeah, I want to get to $1 million, you got to have something better than just because you want to get to $1 million. Tom, what's the story or the timeline or the flea? The flea hitting the.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Or it's not nothing to do with bacon.
Oh.
No, but what is it? The flea. It's kind of like the 4-minute mile, right? It was 4-minute mile. Yeah. Nobody could break the 4-minute mile. Couldn't do it.
One person did, then everybody did. Yeah.
And then everybody did, just like that. Bam.
Robert Bannister.
I thought you were going to say put some ham on it.
Put some ham.
Wrap it in ham.
Wrap it in ham. That's what it is. Wrap it in ham, not put some ham on it, Tom. What the heck?
Or that know what the context is.
Everybody else is like, what are they talking? Yeah, we're not telling you about wrapping in ham. You got to be at the events to get the insider scoop for stuff.
It's a really good story. Come to Foundations this March, and we'll tell you all about it.
I've lived there for 15 years. I want to provide opportunities for my son. Professionally, I want to do more. I love that. I love that. We actually just did that. October 28th, we wrote a check for $15,000 for one of our team members who bought a home, her first home, as part of the first time home buyers program. And I love that. You know, that's opportunities right there. That's retention right there. And believe it or not, if you break that down into 52 weeks, guys, this is not a challenging thing to save for, especially if you're a bigger company. Like, there's no reason, if you're even at an $800,000 mark, that you couldn't do something like this for your team, right? Obviously,
and that's going to make you feel good. It's not going to make everybody feel good, but it's going to make the people who care about their people going to feel amazing.
I got a high out of it. It was amazing. I started talking to everybody. I'm like, why don't you guys want to do this? And we actually opened it up to where it's not only first-time home buyers. We're like, hey, home ownership is the number one path to wealth in the United States. And I said, why don't you guys, if you want to invest in investment properties, use this for that as well? So trying to get everybody excited about it.
So is this like this is an awesome thing to do. Is this like tied into some program that's augmented with state or federal something another, or is this just something y'all did on your own?
Yeah, it's something that we did on our own, and I'll be honest, we're still figuring out as we go along how this is going to look in the future. And of course, with something like this, I know there's going to be some potential tax benefits. I just don't know what that looks like. So I haven't sat down with the CPA and said, hey, organize this for us in a way that it can benefit us, like in terms of the financial aspect as well. So it's definitely, a win-win.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I mean, if you just give somebody $15,000 for that purpose, that's like $15,000 of additional taxable income.
Yeah.
Which 15,000 then isn't 15,000 anymore by the time the tax man gets it. But there could be some type of, I don't know what department, but some type of program that if you were doing it for that purpose, it could be done for tax free. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, this is something that we're still figuring out. We put it out, and the requirement was you have to be on for 2 years in good standing. You have to take a first-time homebuyers program where we have realtors and brokers come in and they talk to our team, help them understand the numbers, different types of loans. And the team members that were qualified, they're like, yeah, we're going to start in 2025, March, start looking for a home. So I'm like, ooh, got some room. A week later, I get a message, hey, we're under contract. I'm like, wait a minute. So we're like, all right, we kind of have to move fast with some documents and everything. It wasn't the prettiest way, but they got the money, right? And I don't know
what do they have to do to get the $15K?
So they have to be in good standing. You have to qualify in terms of taking the courses and everything.
Okay.
Good standing, 2 years on with us, and that's pretty much it. And they apply for it. They just written an application for it. In the future, we're gonna have to figure out a better way to handle it if we have multiple people applying for it.
So you didn't have multiple applications.
Yeah, people saying, hey, where's my $15K?
Yeah, there was literally 4 people that even qualified for it. And of the 4 people, 3 people had qualified for it because they took the classes. We had people sign up and never showed up for the class. And that's the other thing too, when it comes to scaling and providing opportunities for your team, it has to be things that are important to them, because home ownership is important to me. Investment properties is something that's important to me, but it's not something that's important to everyone. Some people are very happy being renters. And
especially young people, 22-year-olds are like, I want to move around.
Area.
That's going to hold me back. I don't even know where I want to be. So
sure. So that it's important to put these things in together and find out what's important to them. Now, I don't know if it's polling. I mean, we've done that in the past, but the issue with that is if you end up putting a poll and you start saying what you might do, people start thinking that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So we had a full backfire on us.
Yeah, you said you were going to do blank.
Exactly.
We just asked you if you'd be interested in that. Hello.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm assuming that this is one part of your $1 million moves is find a way to be able to reward and award things of value to your team members, build a strong team.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest part of that is providing that employee maturity model. And along with that, and this is so simple, it seems so simple, but it's fun. I'm gonna go back a little bit. So for the past like year and a half, I've been trying to figure out what the heck is going on. We scaled rapidly, and then I got to a point where I hit a wall, and I said, I don't know if the information that I currently possess is going to take me to the point of building a 10, 20, $30 million, $100 million company. And whether that be in the cleaning space, and that's what I was looking at directly, or any of the home services space, I just didn't know that it would help me get there. So I was kind of floating around, trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, and abdicating a lot of my duties, kind of assuming that I'm going to have this magic unicorn hire that I'm going to put in this position, and they're going to run my company and do this amazing job. And then I got the unicorn hire, and then I had to hire another unicorn hire to manage that unicorn because that unicorn wasn't doing what they're supposed to do. But anyways, I went unicorn hunting and cut both of their heads off, for lack of a better term.
Already gone.
Yeah. So, and then I came back into my company, and it was a lot of chaos. And it was a lot of chaos because I was slacking off for about a year and a half and just kind of letting it stay to where it was at and expecting other people to grow it. And one of the reasons, like I said, is because I didn't believe the information that I had was the best information to get me to where I needed to go. It just seemed too simple to just be that. So I paid, I'm not going to say what group, but I paid $5,000 for a VIP pass, which I could have paid $500 for and been just as close because it was not VIP whatsoever. And to get access to this room where people are trying to grow their companies that are doing anywhere from $1 million to 10 million, and people in there doing 100 to 200 million. Actually, the biggest was 110 million, and the speakers were taking like $500,000 exits, $200 million exits. So I wanted to be in that room to understand, did I have the right information, and whether the vehicle I was in, the cleaning space, was the best vehicle to be in. And I went to this, and I did learn some things, but one thing that really stood out to me, and I was telling my brother this, who I took with me, is I got clarity, and I realized that the information from room to room is very similar. It's not revolutionary. So, the things that we teach at Foundations, I was watching a watered down version of it, and then they try to charge you 40,000 to go into their next group where they're going to give you more. So I got a chance to speak to one of the guys. He's doing $20 million a year. And he was telling me how this was nuts. This is what made me not sign up, by the way. He's telling me how he went to the event. He signed up for the 40,000. And then when he went to the $40,000 event, they got him to sign up for the $500,000 package. And he paid it. So then I say, well, tell me what you got out of it. Share with me. And this guy is talking about mission, vision, core values. And then he says something. He's like, you wouldn't believe this. Okay, so when we talk about marketing, you're thinking the customer, right? But no, it's also the internal customer, your employees. I'm like, wow, I would have never known this. So he paid $500,000. No, he paid $544,000, $546,000 to learn the same thing that we're teaching at a full deep dive in Foundations.
So how did he wind up with that much money, not knowing those things?
Industries. This is one of the reasons I went too. Yeah. So he's in the plumbing space, HVAC space. I mean, this guy got to $20 million a year on accident. And when I say accident, he was very good at doing the thing, and selling the thing, but he hit a wall where he couldn't. He was having issues with role duplication, core leadership, where he just couldn't scale past that, right? And he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this to bash this guy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he was in a good vehicle, but it was amazing. I mean, I shut my mouth because, I mean, my business is nowhere near his, so I wasn't gonna say, yeah, I know this, because I mean, if I knew it, you'd be doing this.
I would have told you that for less than $500,000.
Next time you want really basic information, come talk to me. I'll give it to you for $5K.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
So that was fascinating for me, and that put me into overdrive, and it put me into overdrive because this. Now I validated what I had. The information that I had for me was validated, and I felt that I could keep pursuing, the scale of my company with the information that I had and just applying it, because there was a lot of things that I know I just wasn't applying.
Yeah.
Right? Things that I knew I needed to do. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's like just applying the things that you need to do, and it's actually simple. A lot of people think scaling is hard. It might be. There might be some things that's complex, but it's not complicated, right? And there's very few things that are complex, like very, very few things. I got a call the other day from one of my competitors, and I'm not going to mention names. But they called me and they said, "Hey, I'm stuck." Yes, it is. What's up, Libby?
Yeah.
So I posted something the other day about bending the knee, and I know that was all Libby energy. Libby, you were loving that. I know it. You're gonna make some people bend the knee if they won't collaborate. So I get a call from one of my competitors, and they're like, "Hey, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I can't break past 600,000. That was a number. I can't break past 600,000. How did you break past 600,000?" And I sat down. And I said, "I don't know. I actually couldn't remember." So I have a lot of data. So I went back through the spreadsheets that I had back then, and I started looking at everything. And I started looking at correlations between where we were at and how we scale. So in 2020, we were doing 400,000 and change. And in 2021, but 2021 was a good year. I mean, rising tide raises all ships. So I know there was an anomaly year. We did 800,000. So we netted around $400,000 in revenue. And then the next year we did the same thing, 400,000. So we went from 4 to 8, 8 to 12, and then we went to 1.6, right? And I realized the correlation between what we were doing was we started spending more on marketing, because as we grew, we were losing the same amount of customers percentage wise, and we just weren't spending on marketing. And I went broke. And when I say that, there's a saying, go for broke, as in I put everything into it and I said, I'm going to go for broke. And I know this is going to work. Once I found that thing that worked, that sticky mousetrap, if you will, I just kept on doing more of that. And it worked. And that's how we were able to scale so fast. And during that same time, I became an aggressive sales machine. Our team, we weren't just waiting for leads to come in. We were dialing for dollars. I mean, we had a list that we've been collecting, emails, numbers. There's no reason why we shouldn't be calling them. So we became really aggressive with calling people. And I say really aggressive, I mean, really aggressive. We had somebody that said, "What's wrong with you people? Will you stop calling me?" And I remember Christina sent this to me. Christina's my service manager. She like felt so bad. And like I cheered her on. I'm like, heck yeah,
Yeah.
And I know it's the last 4 months learning marketing just so I could get a clear understanding. Heck yeah. And that's important right there. Having an understanding, or having someone that on your team that has a clear understanding of where you need to go. That's a nice list right there. That is a nice list. You want to share that list and connect to the market?
Really nice list.
That's a really good list. What was I saying? Yeah, so she got really down about that, but I cheered her on, because the thing is, we have these people's names. They signed up to be contacted, and we wanted to get something with them. Like, we wanted to have a conversation with them and make sure that we were a good fit for them. And the people that yelled at us were far and few in between, but we had to do it, because a lot of times we have these leads that come in and you never get a hold of them. And especially if you're calling your leads after 5 minutes, and I'm being generous, I'd say after 2 minutes. If you're calling them after 5 minutes, you're gonna lose them. They're already on to the next company, having a conversation with someone. So if you're paying for the leads, you got to get them in.
You know,
were these older leads though? I mean, ones you had around for a while that you dug up and decided?
Oh yeah, we literally went through our entire database, and we started calling people. We went from whoever quit us most recently and down, and people that didn't do business with us, right? And we gave them promotions. We actually during that time frame, I had linked up with Carrie Knight, and that's when she was doing the irresistible offer, converting people from monthly to bi-weekly. You know, I mean, my company right now, we only have 318 clients. That's all we have.
Did y'all hear that? Say that again, Olu.
Yeah, we only have 318 clients, right? And recurring clients.
Right.
And I wanted to do this
and
year.
You're doing 1.6?
1.85.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, but no. That is okay. Go ahead.
That's some good money right there. We like
it. And it's kind of, we did it out of necessity as well. This year we should have hit 2.5. Like I told you again, I had those 2 unicorns in my company that I abdicated my duties to. So we suffered culturally because I failed to guide my team. You know, it's right person, right seat, but we never talk about right leadership, right? We have to give them the right leadership. So I basically handed the job over and I turned my head and never guided them enough as well.
But you need the right playbook. You need the right strategy too. So this 1.85 million you're doing, what type of services are you offering? What are you doing to generate that type of revenue?
Yeah, so residential cleaning, right? Our company's primarily residential. If we have commercial, I don't know the exact percentage, but I know it doesn't make up more than 20%.
You don't advertise that. You don't.
No, they come in from our existing customers who have businesses. It's like small law firms, accounting practices, stuff like that.
You're looking for high frequency recurring revenue. You're looking for customers that have a really large lifetime value. I mean, that was Carrie Knight's program. It was an excellent program, by the way. That's how you're building this business.
Exactly. And we're also upselling them. So we're trying to get them in for stoves, for ovens, refrigerators, and we're adding it in. We're calling people. We reach out to our customers. We don't wait for them to reach out to us. If we have something to offer, we're reaching out and offering it to them.
Hunting versus fishing.
Exactly.
And with 300 and how many recurring customers?
318.
So they're getting their homes cleaned a lot every month, and they're paying a lot per cleaning.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay. I met with somebody the other day, had a website that was like, we do residential cleaning, commercial cleaning, move in, move out, trash removal, yada, 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 yada. And it's like, that's one way of doing it. What would life be like if you had a website that says professional house cleaning for high frequency recurring, homes?
Mm-hmm.
How would that work? Well, I'm afraid I'm not going to get enough business for that. And it's like, we kind of fall into that trap, but we never know what the counter argument is.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people that are looking for that. If you focus on that, those people will find you where they wouldn't even click on your website if you've got all of these crazy things that you're doing, and they pay a premium for it. And you're showing that. I mean, we look at the numbers of Made Central, and the average job now is north of $200 a job. That's the average, bill rate is north of $200. Back about 5 years ago, a little less than 5 years ago, it was like $120. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna say that you owe all of that to Made Central. I mean, you've done a lot of it. But what I am saying though is we've been providing data, and we've been promoting this idea for a long time that you need to be charging more.
We actually just increased today. It's supposed to be on the 15th of every month. I was like itching. I'm like itching to hit that button every month. So I'm like, a rate increase. Everyone who hasn't had a rate increase within the past 11 months. So.
But people want to pay more money if they believe that they're getting value for it, and you're framing it up that way.
Yes. And Tom, you said this. You have to be reassuringly expensive, and that's one of the things. We find that when we were a cheaper service, people didn't want to do business with us as much. And a few things change as well, because our model doesn't really work well for the online booking. We love the sticky note strategy. My playbook simple, scale and expansion revenues. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. But what was I saying? I lost my thought. Oh yeah,
I lost your point too.
yeah. Our model, it doesn't work well with online booking, for example, right? Because we use a lot of the sales process to build out the value, right? Pre-frame the value before we actually get to the ask. And once something that we just started testing out, and we'll see how it goes. But anyone that's over $7,000 per year in revenue, any client, we're actually going to go out to their homes, but only after they've gotten the price. So it'd be something to the effects of, hey, we go through the framework and everything. Your price is only this, and it's going to be between this and this. We're going to send someone out to build a custom home package for you, right? Because if I asked you, would you get out of bed for $7,000 for 1 hour of your time? Yeah, the answer is yes. And in this age where we're removing a lot of the human aspect, I think there's that shift where we do need to have some more touch points. I forget what company I was listening to. They were saying they don't do any automations, which I'm not saying don't do this, but they don't do any automations with their customers because they refuse to have a impersonable company. Or does it use that word right?
Unpersonal.
I don't agree fully, but if it's a $7,000, $10,000 ticket, I'll get my ass out of bed for that, you know? So, yeah, I won't do it for 4,000, 5,000, but, well, maybe I would actually.
And it's only a $7,000 a year or plus account if they like your service and stick with you.
Yeah,
You go out, you meet with them, you give them a site-specific customized scope of work. You've just increased the likelihood that they're going to be a customer for a long, long time.
And that's one of the things that we were seeing. We saw that the customers that were with us when we were doing in-home quotes, actually, a majority of them are still with us, right? 2016, 2017 clients are there with us, where the other ones, they're looking at, oh, we like your cleaner. We don't really care about you. There's no real connection. So
part of it's connection, part of it's a misalignment of expectations. They're looking for one thing and you think they want something else and you never had the discussion.
Absolutely.
It's like, do you have fruit? Yeah, we have fruit. They're expecting oranges and you're showing up with apples.
I love that. I love that. Tomcat just dropping bombs. Let's get a bomb button like like a little DJ.
How do you think he got that nickname? Duh. Yeah.
He's dropping the bombs, Tomcat. Love it.
Okay now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to talk about what Libby said over here a little bit. So I'm not exactly sure what she's talking about with the sticky note strategy. Love to hear more about that. I know she talks about micro playbooks. We've had you on the show before, Libby, and you've talked about micro playbooks. I know that you also talked about this at convention. I didn't get to see it, unfortunately. So sad, but would love to hear a little bit more about that. Also, upselling during every job, every time, y'all. We see this in all of the big companies, right? Have you ever gone to McDonald's and not been offered an upsell? Yeah. They make so much money on the upsell. I can't remember what the number is, but it is a large percentage of the revenue is on the upsell. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing that as well.
I'm going to simplify this, but this is in the ballpark of being right. If you've got a business that has a 10% profit margin, if you can increase your bill rate by 10% through upsells, you've just doubled your profit. You've gone from 10 to 20% because that upsell for the most part goes straight to your bottom line. So wouldn't it be cool to have twice as much money in the bank at the end of the year and not have to clean any more homes? Maybe you clean a refrigerator or an oven or, deep clean the room or something. You have a little bit of cost in that, but it's marginal. You could double your profit by working on the upsells.
Yeah, for sure. You want to dive into it?
Y'all catch that? That was one more Tomcat bomb right there.
Can I share something real quick here? Because daylight's burning and we're going to forget to do this. And I don't want people to miss the opportunity of getting a week's worth of these bombs. If I guess the three of us are going to be hanging out on
on the
The
beach,
mansion, the beach.
Yeah.
Oh,
and pina coladas, right?
could be.
If you've got them, people are drinking them. That is the way of the mansion.
Yeah.
So you've got it. So one thing that I love that you were talking about, Olu, and I know we weren't specifically talking about foundations, but this is something that I see people can kind of get stuck in. They're like, oh, but it's so much money, right? And sometimes it makes sense to be making an investment. If you need the information, if you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, even the guy, and I'm gonna use the example of your guy, your 500,000, 45, whatever it was, right?
$500,000. It just sounds more when you say $500,000.
Yeah, 500,000. All right. So even that guy,
Oh, that guy, yeah.
he needed to go spend that amount of money
Absolutely.
to get that simple idea. Because
And he was happy with that simple idea. He was happy with the money spent.
happy as a clam.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to make the money to be able to get there. And a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. So if you're in a situation where you already know exactly what to do, then maybe you don't need a program. Maybe you don't need to go somewhere. But if you've been stuck, if you don't know what to do, if you keep trying, you think you're doing the right things, you probably need the program. You probably need the information in a way that you can absorb it and begin to take action on it. I think that really is the beauty of foundations.
And the reality is, if you knew what you needed to do, and if you feel like, because I've been stuck in that place before, I'm like, I already know I can do it, right?
Yeah.
I don't need the information. Well, show me your P&L. It's going to tell us everything we need to know. Show us the P&L, because if you know it, you would have already done it, right? And I think that's the biggest thing, right? We keep trying to figure it out instead of, in reality, using a shortcut. And I hate using shortcut because it sounds like, you told at a young age, don't take shortcuts.
Yeah.
But somebody's already figured it out.
I don't know. Grown-ups think shortcuts are amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Billionaires think shortcuts are the only way to get there.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a family where they said don't take shortcuts. I wish they told me to take more shortcuts.
More shortcuts. Fail faster. Do all the things.
Yeah. And that's really it. That's and I sent a message to Liz after I actually came from this event that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, I should pull that up. I was like, wow.
I don't remember what I said. It was long, but the reality is, I said, there's no first I told her that we needed to be charging more for foundations, and mainly because the information is foundational. Whether you're building $1 million company and people are using the same exact information to build platform companies doing $100 million, where they're taking great exits. The information is not this revolutionary pie in the sky hidden gem. It's foundational business things. And if you can get the basics right at every level, and you know how to scale when you hit different walls, you're gonna grow a successful business. And I guess the question is, how successful do you want it to be? You want it to be successful enough that your people can win along with you, that you can provide opportunities for your family, then you need to grow your company. And if you don't do that, don't do it.
If you break this program down, I mean, it covers every process and the process flow of running a house cleaning business. It's the whole thing about recruiting, hiring, training, cleaning professionals. It's marketing, sales, and retaining higher frequency recurring clients. There's a little bit of logistic stuff going on in there. But anyway, you mix all of that up in a schedule and you dispatch and you clean homes. It doesn't sound that complicated. But we've already touched upon a number of things that we could be doing in our businesses that many of us don't. None of us do it all as well as it can be done. But we think about, well, gee, what is something like this going to cost? And we really aren't thinking about what it's costing us by not doing it. How much more money could we have in the bank if we were fixing the problems that we know that we should be fixing? I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about, building out an organization and creating growth opportunities, a career ladder, or you use the term maturity program. That sounds even grander, but it's a synergistic thing. You grow your team, you grow your business, you're creating more profit, you're creating more value for all stakeholders. Or you can just continue to make 2025 look like 2024 and 2023, and you're missing the opportunity. And how much is that costing you year over year over year?
so much. So this is another little piece. So I use the snowboarding example a lot. My son called me up and he was like, "Hey, Mama, you want to go snowboarding?" Well, I'm a skier. I don't know how to snowboard. I'd never been snowboarding. But, you know, if your 26-year-old son says, "Hey, you want to go snowboarding?" The answer is yes, of course I do. I want to do anything that you want to do with me. I'm in. Right. So I'm like, I guess I better learn how to snowboard. So I'm watching all the YouTube videos and I'm like, I'm going to be, I watched so many videos. I mean, I had all the information and I was like, I'm going to be on fire on that hill because I know all of the things. How do you stop? How do you go? How do you turn? I knew it all. I knew it, every single thing. Y'all couldn't get down the bunny hill without falling. Right? So
Did you watch the video on how to fall?
It was, I did. I did. I watched how to fall, and that was actually good information. I got a lot of practice, and I got really good at it. But I do think that having the information, once I got on the board, yeah, the first time I couldn't go down the bunny hill because I did have to get my feet wet and start doing the thing, not just know the stuff. I had to start doing it. But then, I was on the blue square on the next one. And then I was on the green right after that. So in one day, I was able to really go so much further. I didn't learn how to ski like that. The first day that I skied, I was on the bunny hill the whole day. So I did need the information, but I also needed to start applying it. And really that's part of what I think is gold at Foundations is you get the information, but then we make you put that into play today, right now, here, right this minute. Build it, create it. Are you going to get it complete? Probably not. You're going to get the start that's going to put you onto the blue square. You're going to be okay to move on because now you really know what it is. It's not the same as having the information. You got to do it to actually know what it's like. I think that's an often missed piece of Foundations.
I might go ahead.
No, I dropped the link in chat for this, coreprofitbuilders.com. You can see a link for Foundations 14 right on it. March 22 through 29, actually. Spend a week with Olu, Liz, and myself, and we're going to be doing, we'll be dropping bombs all over the place.
But even better, you'll be building that business. You won't be talking about building it. You won't be thinking about it. You won't be working toward it. You won't be doing all of the things that don't actually get you there. You'll actually be doing the things and building it.
Can we talk about who this is not for?
Sure.
I might, sound mean when I'm saying this, but like we don't want everybody there. I personally don't. I don't know if you guys do.
Oh yeah, we have a list.
Yeah, like we don't want everybody there. And when we say that, it's the people that are, hey, if you're comfortable doing what you're doing, and you're really happy being where you are, don't come. And
if they're comfortable.
Say again.
If they're comfortable.
Yeah, if they're comfortable. Yeah, if they're comfortable. There's that saying, a guy walks onto a porch and there's an old beagle there and he's howling. And the guy asks the owner, why is he howling? He's like, oh, he's laying on a nail. And they're like, why doesn't he move? Well, it doesn't hurt bad enough. And to me, if it doesn't hurt bad enough for you to take action, you're comfortable. So stay where you are. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're not really, because you have to be bought in. You have to be bought into the change. You have to be bought into the process. Oh, wow. You have to be bought into the success of your company. My boy, I don't know, he brought me a blob of clay poop. But you have to.
Hey, dad goals, y'all. Dad goals right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to be bought into the entire process because there's nothing worse than us taking our week and really, it might take a week, but we spend time way before this, and I know Liz extensively, getting ready for this for people who don't want to change what they're doing, who don't want to take action. You have to want to take action. And if you don't want to take action, even if you show up, stay away from me.
Or even more than take action, you have to be ready to do things differently than you've been doing them. Mm-hmm. Oh, scroll down just a little bit to Trisha Lake's testimonial here. I love this testimonial. I'm sorry about the coffee. the reason I love her testimonial is she's like, when I first went to foundations, I didn't really think I needed to go. I thought I knew it all. I had it all. I was on track. I was going to do my thing. And she basically really wanted to. And that's the truth. Y'all know Trisha. She really wanted to hang out with her buddies. Right. And then she was like, what the heck? And she credits foundations with her ability to actually begin to scale her business, not just grow in these little increments. If you haven't read what she has to say, go ahead and read that. I guess I felt like it was really inspiring. Yeah. This is somebody that she's a high D, and she has a tendency to think she's always right about everything. She won't be offended that I'm saying that. And I'm the same way. Tom, you're the same way. Olu, you're the same way, right? And a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners have a tendency to think, I already know. Yeah, but I already know. You don't understand my situation. You don't get it. I know what to do.
Yep.
Your way works for you. It's not going to work for me. I'm good.
Yeah, we got our own little arguments, internal arguments. So you've got to be, even if that is you, right? And you're like, are you telling yourself that you are open? I am open, even though I know I'm resistant. I still want the information. I still am going to. If you know that even when you get the good information, you're like, no, you're not going to do it. Don't come, because for those people, it really is a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're going to be in the same boat in a year. And we know some people that's the situation, right? They just didn't want to make the change. Some things are too hard. I remember one person that just hadn't done a price increase in 3 years. We're like, nope, we're doing a price increase today. Today, we're doing a price increase. And not even with 10 customers. She was like, no. Granted, she didn't have that many, but still, even with 10 customers, she was like, she couldn't do it. Y'all, it's been, I don't know how many years now, maybe 4. And last time I talked to her, she still hadn't done a price increase. She's going backwards faster, going further backwards even faster. So, and can't figure out why. Now, I'm not saying that the price increase would change that entirely, but
it's a symptom of a bigger problem.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if anybody's struggling with price increases, in the past price increases we've done in the past 3 months, literally 4 people called to cancel. Of those 4 people, we said, oops, hey, you know what? We reviewed your account. Looks like you're still good for right now, right? And we did it for all 4. 2 of them still canceled, and 2 of them stayed on. So, I mean, I'll pull up my numbers, because there's a report for that. And I'll tell you how much in additional revenue we're going to have this year, or in the next 12 months, because of price increases. You guys can
when I started telling people about doing rate increases every month, I got so much pushback. The number one pushback I got was from people who were like, no, my clients won't like that. It's too much, blah, blah, blah. The second pushback I got was, that's ridiculous. That is too much work. Every single month, price increases is a lot of work. We're going to do it once a year, right? But how much money is being left on the table? And now if you have Made Central, how easy is it to do it every month? It's such a waste of money and just everything to not be doing price increases every month. Good for you. I'm so proud of you.
1 year projection from October's price increase is $38,738.70. And then there was another one that was done in October that was for $4,098.38. December price increases 1 year projected is $27,537.25. And then 1 year projected for the one I did today, that seems kind of low. It's $4,742.92. That's the 1 year projected just for the price increases in the past 3 months, right? I mean, if you're, say again?
Couple of bucks.
Couple bucks. I mean, if you're struggling to hire, because we're putting somebody in, we're promoting somebody into the office, into a field coordinator, training coordinator position, and we're going to be paying her $60,000. Well, that's where the $60 is coming from, you know?
That's where we're getting money, right here.
More money in terms of like getting more customers. We're doing more of the same exact customers that we have. in order to support that position.
And we see so many companies take those bigger bill. We see so many companies take those bigger bill rates, and they're able to create better jobs out of that. And their retention rate is going up. Their turnover, their team member turnover goes down, and their customers are getting better service because they're getting consistent service. They're seeing the same people all the time. It's kind of a virtuous circle, and they're happy to pay more money for better service. And it sounds crazy doing rate increases every month. It's not the same home getting an increase month after month. You're looking, give me everybody that hasn't had a rate increase in 8 months and hitting them, and every month you're doing that. But it's a virtuous circle, and it's crazy, but it works.
And if you
getting the money today is so much better than getting their money in a year or 6 months or whenever you're going to get around. How much more money did you get just by doing it a little bit sooner? Your price increase a little bit sooner. And depending on how you pay, if you're paying allowed hours, that money's all dropping down to profit, right? I mean, it's just like, bam, that's your money to invest in your business, invest in your people.
Or if you're doing a rev share, your technicians are making more money too, and they're going to love their job more.
Yeah,
and the customers are going to be happier. I'm happy sharing that with technicians because you're going to get it back in customer retention.
Absolutely.
And if you're doing that, as long as you point out, hey, all of these jobs, you're now getting a pay increase every month. We're paying you more money because you work here. You don't have to create a whole entire, what's it called? Pay increase plan where everybody gets an evaluation after every 6 months or a year or whatever. I mean, so many wins from doing that as well.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Someone from
Aja does a class on consistency, and it's a multi-week program, and it's a lot of people do it. She's doing another one probably the end of January. We haven't announced that yet. Oh, we're doing a Made Central Academy in January as well. I was supposed to mention that.
Yeah, get that up there.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10. If you've never done that before, it's an awesome program. We go through all the core KPIs. We explain, what you need to do in order to make the green numbers go up and the red numbers go down. And basically, we show you how to plug them into a model where you can get predictable outcomes. So you can see, what your profit's going to be 6 months from now, a year from now. And if you don't like that, we show you how you can adjust your core KPIs to get the numbers that you want to get. And then we develop an action plan so you can leave here and actually do something with it. So go to madecentral.academy if you want more information about that, or if you want to sign up. We do have some spots left, but by the time we get to the end of the month, I'm pretty sure we won't.
You never do. That always sells out.
Tom, this is a win for Made Central right here. One for me. But so we just hired a partial CFO, and I was able to negotiate the salary because one of the things that she was going to be doing was creating a core KPI models. And I'm like, okay, what are those going to be based off of? And then I'm like, okay, I let her finish talking. And then I showed her Made Central and how we already had that built in. So we were able to negotiate her salary based off of that. So that was nice.
She kind of threw in the towel and said, never mind, you already, have it. She threw in the towel and said, never mind, you already have it.
Well, can we revisit it after 6 months? I'm like, after 6 months, we absolutely can revisit it, But
yeah, but we don't need it for the first 6 months because you're going to be able to hit the ground running also. Makes sense to reevaluate in 6 months because she already has all the tools that she needs at her fingertips. She doesn't have to build them.
Exactly.
That's a huge win right there.
So, wow, we're up close to the top of the hour here. We have a couple more minutes, but I love the discussion. I love the idea of you grow a team by growing your business and creating opportunities, and it's a virtuous circle. It's synergistic. It kind of all goes together. Likewise, if you aren't growing, it's not really an awesome place to be. And You can hire people and you can build a team in that environment, but it's not going to be dynamic. It's not going to be fun, and it's not going to be a place that the best people are going to want to be part of.
If only one person is winning in the company, and that's the owner, because the owner decided to want to, give more opportunities to my team. Sucks.
And that's a temporary condition too. That's not sustainable forever. If you aren't growing, you'll eventually, I guess from medical, you hit stasis, and you just kind of, the world, if you're not changing, the world's going to change around you, and you're not going to continue to be competitive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So number one, best move for your $1 million move. Is that
what's my number one best move?
Yeah, is that the baby over there?
Yeah, it's I'll tell you the number one best move. If you're small, don't forget that your job is to sell, and your job is to sell more to more customers than you're losing. So you need to be willing to go broke, whether that's spending on marketing or going broke on your time. When I say going broke on your time, a lot of people have scaled their companies by being right there in the community, by engaging, by building mutual benefiting relationships with different people in their community. So you don't only have to spend on Google ads, on Facebook ads. There's other ways you can do it, but you gotta sell. And I think that's the number one thing to scale in the early stages, is you gotta become a heavy sales machine and a heavy marketing machine. So that would be the number one thing. And then I guess number two would be mission, vision, core values, employee maturity model, having everything aligned where everyone understands how we actually win in the company. Where is this company going, and how do I fit into this picture?
Awesome.
Great. Love it. Thanks so much, Olu. Looking forward to, I guess I probably won't see you until March at Foundation.
Maybe February. We're still trying to figure out, like, why is Liz having this in Vegas? I can't be in Vegas again.
Vegas, February event. Yeah, award ceremony there.
Yeah.
Development and leadership. That's a good one. But I thought you were going to send Christina to that.
No, not Christina. Somebody that we're promoting, and I'm not going to say a name just in case anybody in my team is watching this. We're announcing it on Friday.
Okay.
But I want her to go to this. And I'm like, man, why is it in Vegas?
Vegas is cheap, easy.
Is it really?
My side of the.
It's easier for you, yeah. I like
my side of the country.
Okay, so we are at the top of the hour, but we will be back next Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern. I guess that'll be our last live stream Smart Business Moves of the year from reading that.
Sure will.
Sure will. So next Wednesday will be our Christmas special.
Oh, that's right. So everybody bring your headdress,
your
decorations. Yeah, Tomcat will have his Santa in the chimney hat on, I'm sure, won't you?
That's right. Yeah, and along with several. Denise hooked me up a few years ago back during COVID. So I've got a whole suite of Christmas apparel that we'll be donning.
We really should have been wearing them all month long. We have too many, right?
Yeah. We'll make it work.
All right, everybody. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, Olu.
Thank you for having me, y'all.